Real estate group, and we've got Bill, Lily, and Kinga's in charge of the phone and making sure we're live. So, but it looks like we're all good. So, today we're going to talk about what I call the 4 horsemen for success as a real estate agent, either a new agent or existing agent. And you know, there's certainly other things folks can do to generate business out there, but these are kind of the main 4 sort of pillars of what should your real estate business kind of look like. So early on in my career, I had met an agent and we were doing a deal together, and he said to me, and I've always remembered, he says, the good agents, they're always prospecting. They're always looking for new business, because we do get, some repeat business, and we might have an investor, but, you always got to be finding, new business out there, and being good at that really is sort of what, separates, the top agents from sort of people that, aren't quite so proficient at it. So let's chat a little bit about what the 4 horsemen for success are. So the first one is listings. And spending a dedicated, I put in the email, an hour a day to be out there prospecting for either expired listings, withdrawn listings, for sale by owner. People, sometimes we'll hear, oh, let's go knock on doors. Well, the thing about knocking on doors is that you could be knocking on somebody's door who has no intention of selling, right? So you're meeting them, and maybe in 3 years, you've done some farming in that area, they remember you, you get their listing. But, what we're talking about now is much more, I need to eat today, not in 3 years, so I've got to make money today. So we're talking about, things we can do right now that hopefully generate, some business. So that would be, calling for sale by owners. Again, why are they selling on their own? Typically 2 reasons. One, they hate real estate agents, so that's a tough one to sort of crack. Or they just don't want to pay the commission. That's usually what it is. Sometimes they're willing to offer the buyer's agent commission, but they don't believe that we're going to give them more money at closing by doing it than they would themselves. So sometimes if we lower our commission, maybe think about using that listing to then get us some buyers, it still can be profitable for us. So we're pretty flexible here in terms of doing that. You can get 6% or 5%, great. Sometimes you can offer 2.5% to the buyer's agent. You won't lose one showing, and maybe you do it for something less than 2.5% to get the listing, to use the listing to then get yourself some buyers. The other thing is calling expired listings, withdrawn listings. Unfortunately today there aren't as many of those because everything is selling. So why would a listing expire in the hot market we're in? It's because they probably didn't have it priced right, or the realtor had lousy marketing, terrible photos, blah blah blah. Again, but there just aren't as many of those today because most everything is selling. So it's a little harder to come by, but still something you could go after. But again, it's a dedicated, conscious effort each day, every day. An hour a day turns out to be 20 hours a week. And again, but you gotta do it, and if you do it, you'll have success. All right, so that's getting listings. The next one is internet. Buyers on the internet leads. Dalton Wade, we love those. We do a lot around that. You have to have either you're working at a brokerage that supplies leads, you're paying for leads, but you're getting, and typically what do you need? Hopefully you need 20 to 25 leads a month, to get one transaction out of it. If you can get a 5% conversion, King is the rock star of internet leads. Right, Kinga?
Mom? I don't know.
How many internet leads? You've closed a whole bunch, right?
I have few under contract, but I don't know if I'm a rock star. I never compared myself to anyone.
Well, you're
it's
definitely.
Nice to hear.
It's nice to hear, and you're definitely at the 5%, and Bill is as well. So I mean, they definitely work. But you have to have a strategy, a plan, a good contact management system to sort of continue to work them over time. And you want to make sure if you're spending you know, you're getting a return on your investment. But again, it is a channel, you know, that can drive business. I mean, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, you know, that those companies exist for a reason, and there's several others that, you know, provide leads to agents, and they exist because it works. If it didn't work and it wasn't profitable, no one would pay for leads. So, you know, you can either pay for leads, or you can, you know, use your listings. We've had trainings on this. Use your listings to generate leads, buyer leads. You know, that's one of my favorite things, and I've been pretty good at it in terms of using my listings to get business. So you got internet leads, you got your listings. The next one we're going to talk a little bit about is your sphere of influence, right? So what is that? That's your friends, business associates, your family, but it can even go a little bit, you know, beyond that. Unfortunately, like, I'm not a pin guy. Like, I don't wear a pin, Dalton Wade pin, but sometimes, you know, you'll see reels, like we have them. If you want one, you know, I can let you know where to order. It's very inexpensive. You know, then you're a walking billboard for yourself. Basically, you're in Starbucks, you're having a cup of coffee, you got your pin, you can strike up the conversation, or somebody can come strike up a conversation. You know, they're interested in real estate, and now they know you're an agent. You know, and next thing you know, you've got a dialogue, you give them your card, and off you go. I met a woman up when I was an agent up north. I was doing a deal with her. I always was curious how people, you know, got their business, and she said, she did 3 business cards a day, every single day. She's at the gas station, she's striking up a conversation, she's giving them their card, you know, and she got a deal out of it, and in fact, she got several deals out of it. So again, if you think about it, 3 cards a day times 365 days, what's that, Lily? How many is that a year? That's 1,095.
Yes.
I didn't tell you I was an accountant as well. So anyways, there we go, right? So that's 1,095 people you touched. All you got to do, even if you got 0.5%, that's 5 deals. You're well on your way to your 24 deals a year. So 3 business cards a day. You know, don't be shy. You got to be out there yucking it up with people. People love real estate. It's all about, you know, it's all about meeting people. So that's just a couple ideas, you know, that sort of expands your sphere of influence, and, you know, some other ideas around it. And then the last one we're going to talk about today is social media, right? Social media. So Phil's using social media right now to train, and, you know, there's an ulterior motive here, which is recruitment, right? So if you're out there and you're providing training and other agents are watching your training, you know, sometimes you can use social media then to sort of, you know, bring them in. Same concept as an agent. We talked last week about using Facebook Live and how to do that so that you can bring in, you know, additional business. So a lot of times, social media. So, you know, if we kind of go back, you know, internet leads. Hopefully, if you have them, you can get lucky, or you're good, and you can get deals right out of it right away. If you have a listing, you got a listing, maybe you've met a buyer, they're going to an open house, hopefully the turnaround time with that person, you know, is fairly short. Social media, you know, takes a little bit longer. You're building your brand online. You're doing things, and again, there's a lot of different strategies in terms of, you know, you can be driving traffic, you know, to a landing page for one of your listings by promoting it on Facebook. And getting some buyer activity that way. You can be out there, you know, blogging, providing content, you know, to either first-time home buyers or sellers. You're becoming, you know, the subject matter expert. You're providing information, you know, to people basically for free, with the hope of them saying, oh, why don't I use that person as my real estate agent, because they gave me all this great, you know, content, data. They really seem knowledgeable, and again, it's you know, it's a commitment. It's doing it, you know, an hour a day, or, you know, an hour 3 times a week. It's consistency, building your page, and you know, going from there. And again, everything we've talked about today: prospecting for listings, internet leads, sphere of influence, social media. You know, Phil has his opinions, but if you were to go on YouTube and type in any of these subjects, 50 videos are going to come up with other, you know, good agents, giving what they think and how they can help teach you things that have worked for them. So there's a lot of information available, and then the trick is doing it, actually doing the work. A lot of times people come into this business and they think the business is going to come out of the sky, and they don't have to work at it. And unfortunately, that's not the case. You got to put the time, the effort, and if you do it, you'll become a rock star realtor. So that's kind of today's training. Hopefully, any questions, Kinga, Bill, Lily?
Any questions?
Any questions?
No questions.
Any ideas, thoughts, things that have worked for you? Bill?
Not really.
Nothing?
Really? No. Kinga, any things
I
you'd
don't
like
know.
to add? How about anybody on Facebook? Anybody have any questions?
Nobody's asking.
All right. Well, I'm available offline if anybody does have any, and always available to help. Thanks, and we'll be back next week. Chat with another hot real estate subject.